I hope you can hear me. I have earbuds on. If you cannot hear me, please let me know because I have no idea. Um, so I am incredibly exhausted and am in so much pain. I went to physical therapy today for my shoulder. I've been practicing at home and I'm getting better, which is good, but at the same time, it's causing me to have some added back pain, and I talked to the physical therapist about all that, and I'm getting an injection next week, finally, and hopefully a lot of this pain can go away, and I won't be so tired and drained, and I mean, I'm looking at myself, I look horrible, look at that, and I just woke up from sleeping for 3 hours because I was just so tired. After I did physical therapy, it was like from 1 to 2, and it just made me so tired. And I slept, and when I woke up, I didn't even know what day it was. But I just have so much pain in my back right now. I'm almost at the point of it being so painful that I cry, and that's not a good sign. It's not. So, but all of my injections have been successful in the past, and I hope this one is successful as well. I have to wait until Wednesday, but you know, that's okay. It's just the pap down now, if you will. So I wanted to tell you guys, what's going on and all that, and why I look so bad all the time. And it's just been a long time coming, with all the different situations, because when you deal with pain, it's a whole other realm, because you can't see pain, but you can see the effects of pain. And I'm sure if you're watching this and you're looking at my eyes, you can see that I'm in pain. Pain doesn't discriminate against anybody for any reason, except those rare people who don't feel pain. That could be a blessing in disguise, or it could not be, depending on what the situation is. But I always feel the pain, and I hate pain so much. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a way to hold this so it's comfortable. I can't figure it out. It hurts to get up. I need help to get up. It hurts to sleep. I'm not sleeping. And even if I do sleep, it's just because of the medicine I take, and I'm still not getting any restful sleep. Hold on, I need to drink. My mouth is so dry. Ugh, life. I forgot what I was gonna say. It was about a doctor's thing, I think. How many is that? Is it 12?
9.
I need 12.
I'm sorry, but we only have 9.
Okay, then 9 will do.
Okay. And do you cut any of them up, or do you put them in whole?
I cut them in quarters.
In quarters? Okay.
Yeah. If they're too big, you can cut them in extra time. She's asking me about mashed potatoes. My son likes mashed potatoes, but with like tons and tons. of cheese in it. Like, you know, the packages that you buy at the supermarket. They're just like, I don't know. They're bigger than that, but you know what I mean? They're those packets of shredded cheese, the different flavors. And um, I usually use 12 potatoes and then 2 bags of those packages of cheese. And he still can't taste the cheese. I'm like, you're nuts. I'm like, if I put more cheese in here, it's just gonna be cheese with a hint of potato, you know. So, 9 potatoes will have to do. 12 is usually what I do it, is the number that I use, but if we don't have that many, oh, sorry, my arm's getting tired. It's my right arm. That's why it hurts to hold the phone. That's why I keep switching. Um, 12 seems to be the magic number. But we have 9. So I'll have to modify it a little. And hopefully he'll eat it. I mean, he eats it anyway. It's potatoes. I mean, most people like potatoes. I really wish I could remember what I was going to tell you guys. Oh, I've been having a lot of cognitive issues. I don't know if it's because of all the pain or because I changed medications from Ativan to diazepam temporarily to help with the pain, because it does not help my anxiety whatsoever. I am so anxious about everything. I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but that's because I'm so tired from the pain. It is wiping me out, and I don't have any energy. You know, I barely have any energy for this. But I wanted to let you guys know what was going on with me. So the physical therapist, told her I'm getting an injection next week. So what would you like me to do in terms of scheduling for the shoulder, and then after the injection, I'll have to get another referral from my doctor to do low back physical therapy. So he said what they would normally do is you come in one day, you work on your shoulder. You come in the next time, you work on your back. Like, you don't want to work the whole body at once. You're not like, it's not an exercise class, it's a physical therapy session, so you don't want to overdo. So that makes sense to me that they would do that. But he wanted me to call the doctor and find out his opinion on when I should resume doing the shoulder therapy. Just to make sure that I don't hurt myself, I don't injure anything. How many days out does he want me to wait, or does he just want me to just continue? I don't know, whatever. So I put a call in. I'm checking now. Actually, let me close my sound, because every time I make one of these live streams, all these notifications pop up, and I don't know if it messes with the video or anything. I don't always watch them back. A lot of times I'm just lazy. I don't want to watch it. Not that I don't want to watch it. If it's live stream, it's live. It is what it is, And I'm okay with that. But he wants to make sure that the way I do the physical therapy with my shoulder, with my back, that I don't do anything to injure myself. I wish you could hold this for me.
I don't know how much water I need to put in. I got the potatoes and the onions in there, but I don't know the rest of it.
Okay, let's go do a cooking lesson. Can you help me up? 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. Oh. I'll tell you though, God doesn't give you these obstacles because you can't handle them. He gives them to you because you can. Now, do we have any broth left? I don't remember if I used it all. It hurts to walk. It hurts to walk. Right there.
There's some in the fridge, but I need to get the shower.
Okay, let's switch the view on this. So we're making it in the pressure cooker. Since there's only 9, just put half in. So she's just putting half.
Just so you know, folks, this is the secret in potatoes in restaurants. They use chicken broth in it. They also use it in the rice.
Let's show what kind of chicken broth it is after. It's just the Pacific. We get the low sodium ones. I find that this particular brand has the least amount of sodium and stuff inside of it, so it's healthier. Sorry, I keep moving the thing. No, not you, I was talking to them. So there are the potatoes, yummy, yummy potatoes. So we just put half of that in because we don't want to overdo it because then it can get too mushy. And now this is the part where I like to put in some salt, some pepper, because you want to put it in before you start cooking. I've heard some people say when it comes to a pressure cooker, it doesn't matter because you can always add it at the end. But when I find, and I was also taught, when you're doing potatoes, before you boil them, cook them, pressure cook them, whatever it is you're doing, you want to season them to your liking first. You can always add stuff later, but this is the most crucial part. So if you're someone who really likes to put salt in the potatoes, which she's putting this salt, I would normally use this sea salt stuff.
Just so you know, I ran out of that stuff, and
hold on, the sea salt stuff. But like she just said, we ran out, so we're just using regular salt, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And just don't put too much salt in. You don't want to mess with your body too much. Just put a reasonable amount in, depending on how much potatoes you have and your family's taste buds. So
to get the flavor of salt into potatoes, you do need to salt your potatoes when the water is in it, because that's the only way for salt to actually get into the flavor of the potato is during the cooking process. Other than that, you'll have a potato that tastes just salty.
Yeah.
Instead of a potato that has the flavor of salt.
But by all means,
not too much of it. So.
If that's what you want, then do it, okay? If that's how you want to eat your potatoes, then do that. But for other people who want to watch their salt intake and all that
which
stuff,
I am one of. So.
I think everyone is someone who has to watch their salt intake just in case.
Okay, now how much water?
No water. You already put in the liquid. Can you shut the thing because the light's not there? The cabinet. That's all you do.
So that's it? Salt, pepper, and chicken broth?
I tend to put this in as well. I like to put a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. And did you also chop up an onion?
Yes.
Did you put it in?
No, I just chopped it up and then I threw it in the trash.
She's such a jackass. Listen to her.
What would I do? I'd chop it up or I'd put it in here.
Is it any wonder I'm crazy? Crazy is as crazy does, right?
Yeah.
Now, wait. Now, there is something you can do here. You can add a little bit of butter because it helps to give it that, like Rachel Ray is always saying, it gives it that little creaminess flavor to it. You don't have to, because you're going to be adding, you're going to be adding butter at the end, but you can do this, but it's all personal preference. And we're doing it in the pressure cooker, so it'll infuse all of that flavor into the potatoes.
So yeah, this is a really easy way to make garlic
So
potatoes.
always, whoops, hold on, I'll flip it again. So always make sure the valve is set to, I can't see it because it's so dark.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go. So, okay, see how it says venting right there? I don't know if you can see that. It says venting. And there's one back here that says, I think, sealing. You want to have it pushed away from you, okay, when you're cooking.
So that you're sealing the pot,
You
keeps
want
everything in.
right. If you have it on venting, it will not cook.
Right.
And then you come down here, and depending on the model you have, this is the model that I have. I don't know the exact name.
This is an actual Instapot.
Well, it is an Instapot, but some of them have different buttons.
Right.
The model that you have. This is the model we have, and I always hit soup. And it depends. Like this one says meat stew. Sometimes they say soup and stew or something like that. But make sure it says soup. It's on for 10 minutes. And just let it do its thing. And when it is done, you want to manually release it.
And this is absolutely a great way to make mashed potatoes without having to use a big pot and then having to strain them, put them back into the pot.
Yeah,
You
this
can just
reduces
make a
that.
batch of potatoes. We made a smaller one because we're a small family, but you know.
Hey, if you're working in a soup kitchen, bring along your bring along your pressure cookers, okay? It'll help you save time when it comes to cooking. I don't know if they let you do that kind of stuff. I've never worked in a soup kitchen or volunteered in a soup kitchen. But I would imagine that it would make it a lot easier because I think potatoes is one of those things they eat a lot of. I'm guessing because it's a cheap item.
Yeah, but think in a pressure cooker you can make a big pot in 15
Yeah,
minutes.
you don't even have to make it that way. You can wrap them in tin foil and put them in that way, and then have baked potatoes without having to use the oven. Excuse me. There's so many different ways to use a pressure cooker. So when you get a pressure cooker, keep a hold of the paperwork that comes with it because it'll tell you like certain things that you cook, how long you can cook them, if it has to be on high, medium, low, all that stuff. It might not have every single food in the world on it, but with the Instant Pot, they have the website, and the website has a lot of information. There's part of the spices we have, and when I say that's part, that's literally what I mean. There's tons more in the cabinet. So the other thing that she's doing is we're making rotisserie chicken to go with it, and of course vegetables. We'll probably just have frozen vegetables
And fresh sliced watermelon.
to eat. So, you know,
Tomorrow night we might have nectarines and pork chops.
I don't
Pork
like
loin.
nectarines.
You've never had them grilled, so you don't know if you like them now.
I don't like nectarines, period.
Okay,
Listen, I will give it a try.
I was
will-
just gonna say,
I will
should
try
do
it.
plums instead for you.
I like plums, but I don't know about them being grilled. I'll have to think about that, you know? I don't know. I like plums just the way you are. I know.
But
I
I
stole
guess-
that. I stole that from Billy Joel. I know.
But I guess when you put the fruit on the grill, it heightens the flavor
No,
and gives it like a smoky taste.
yeah.
You know, depends on how much you keep it on the grill. So.
I don't know how I feel about the smoky taste. Yeah, you like all our groceries that don't fit in the cupboard.
Yes, we made sure we were stocked up so we didn't have to go out that often.
Yeah, we're still pretty much doing the lockdown thing. We only go out when we have to. There were a couple special occasions. I can't remember the other ones, but I just had my birthday, and we went down. It's just 5 minutes down the road to the local pub, and they have changed their menu and stuff like that because of the pandemic. They can't make certain things just because of how long it takes, and mostly it's not how long it takes, it's how many people are on staff, and it's a small establishment, so, and it has a bar.
Well,
So
they're trying to do as much as they can
yeah, so
with the menu, so they're not
they're
like having all this food that they
yeah,
can't use.
and they have, like, for the first time, I had they had this orange chicken. Now, I have tried orange chicken from many different places. I think it's disgusting. But this restaurant, I don't know what they did or did not do, but they have the best orange chicken. It was an appetizer, and my son ate like.
No, it was actually a meal.
Oh, it was a
that
meal. Okay,
turned into an
it looked
appetizer.
like an appetizer. Okay, it was
Well,
just
that's
in a
because
small
that's how we
bowl,
had it served.
and my son tried it, and he takes a few bites, and he's like, "I don't like this. This is gross." And my mother tried it, and what was your reaction to it?
This was something we could make at home.
Okay, so she likes it, is what she's saying. And me, I scoffed that shit down. It was my birthday. I hadn't eaten all day. I've barely gone out this summer. Like, I go to doctor's appointments, like physical therapy. That's something you can't just do over Zoom, you know?
Well, you can't.
I mean, you
just can't
can,
do
but
it
you
well.
need someone there to, because think of the different types of people who go to physical therapy. Some of them, they cannot do it at home. There's no way. They need someone next to them in case they fall, like if they're elderly or something like that. So I go to physical therapy. I'm going to get that spinal injection. I go to the dentist because it's open. I have to. I'll tell you about that in another video about the dentist. I haven't made a video yet because I'm waiting for this last part to happen, and then I'll make my final video on that Words of Wednesdays dental series, and I'll get into that a little more. I'm hurting. Actually, first, I'm going to see if there's any Snapple. You guys know me, I'm a Snapple queen. I only drink it during the summer, though, if you can believe it. I don't drink it during the winter time. I will drink hot tea. Oh! I'm sorry. You know what? If I was Jesus Christ, you wouldn't be scared. you'd be full of love. That's how you know I am not Jesus Christ. And tell me if it's too loud in here. There's a fan in here, just to help keep me cool, because with pain can come temperature changes. I did take some medicine, so I think it's kind of starting to kick in. I've been using the ice packs and everything, oh, so yeah, I was saying, like, we went out for my birthday, and it was so cute. There was this waitress, okay? Now, any of you who've ever worked in the restaurant business, especially if you've been a server, you know that the proper way to hold a tray is to hold it like this. You want to have this grip, okay? So when you're holding the tray, you have complete control, and your other hand is always ready in case a kid runs under you or something, and you have to grab the tray so it doesn't fall. And this waitress, she was carrying the tray perfectly, and she was diagonal from us at the other table. And I said, "Casey, see how she's holding that tray?" I said, "That is how you hold a tray." I said, "You don't want your hand flat. You don't want to be carrying it in two hands. You want to be carrying it just like this. Enough so it's away from your head so it doesn't hit you, but you've got that balance." Sorry if you hear yelling in the background. That's my mom and my grandson. "Where's the remote? Where's my phone? Where's the screws to my head?" I don't know. But I had a great time, and she heard what I said, and she said, "Have you guys worked in the restaurant business?" And I said, "Yeah, we both have, but my mother's the one who's been the waitress. I only served a couple tables, maybe like 3 times, only because it was like drinks and ice cream, and they were on small trays, and that was it. I was never actually a waitress, but I did work in the restaurant, so I learned a lot. Plus, my mother told me, from her experience, of, working in a restaurant, holding trays, the different ways they used to hold trays. Like, does anyone remember? I don't know if they still do this, but they used to bring you trays, your food, and they would have the plates all the way down their arms, and they would be carrying like that, and then like that's insane. Like, who thought of that? You're carrying hot food. That's not good. It's I think the best way to do tray carrying is to obviously hold the tray properly, right? But also have a stand. I know a lot of restaurants don't like to have the stands because for a brief moment while you're serving the food, sometimes you can't get by. But you know what? It's only for like 30 seconds. It's okay. It's not going to stop you from getting to your table and getting the food that you want to eat. You might have to stand a moment, but that's okay. I remember those days. But people are so impatient today that, yeah, waiting. Yeah, right. Self-entitlement, huh? Can you say self-centered, narcissistic? All those things that you see around the United States. I mean, I don't want to speak for any other country because I do not live there, and I don't want to disrespect anyone's culture or country. But I will say this about America, well, the United States of America, because I live in it. People are fucking crazy. They're fucking nut jobs, man. It's like, what is wrong with people? um, oh, excuse me. Yeah, that medicine's kicking in. If I think if you can tell, my eyes are a little bit more open. I'm a little bit more um, engaged in what I'm doing. Um, so we had the conversation, and I did not pick this up at the time because, again, when you're in pain and you're tired, things can pass you by that normally you would get in a heartbeat. And normally I would. And she asked me, "Do you like chocolate and lemon or chocolate and peanut butter?" And I said, "Oh, I love chocolate and peanut butter. That's so great." It didn't even dawn on me why she was asking me that, because I had told her that, I'm having a great time. It's my birthday. I I got to go out and have, some different types of food, and spend time with my mom and my son, and oh shoot. Oh no. Uh-oh. Amanda, what did you do? What did you do, Amanda? It was like leaking. The drink or something was leaking on me. It was either that or it's the whatchamacallit, the ice pack, but I want to take a chance, so I'm gonna grab my towel. Just in case. I am so prone to making messes, it's not even funny. That's an uncomfortable laugh because I just had a thought, like, like you get married and you pick out like a china pattern. I'd be that person going, "Do you get fake china?" Because I'll probably break it. I'll have to leave it at someone else's house. Alright, I have to take a drink. I'm just going to put you down for a second. And of course, it's Snapple. Look at that. It's backwards. Why is it backwards? I noticed that sometimes in my videos. Hold on. Can you still see me? Okay. Yeah, sometimes in my videos, I've noticed, like if I'm in my car and I'm making a video, um, sometimes I notice that it looks like I'm sitting on the right side of the car. Um, like if you were to drive in Australia, you'd be on the opposite side of the car driving. And that's what it looks like. And then other times, it looks normal. I don't. Does anyone have any explanation for that? Anyone who works in IT or anyone who knows cameras, computers, things like that? Like, why does the camera sometimes portray you backwards, and other times it portrays you where you're supposed to be? Because I noticed that in my videos. I'm like, no, he's on this side of me or whatever. I'm like, why is he like why does it look like I'm driving on the right side of the car? So that's a question that I would love to have answered because I have no idea. Um, so yeah, I had a great time at my birthday. And it was, like I said, it was only 5 minutes down the road, and um, they had the social distancing. Of course, you could take your mask off to eat because it's stupid not taking a mask off to eat, right? And we had a good time for the most part. I did end up after we got back, I took Henry and Casey, and we went to Dairy Queen so Casey could get an ice cream, and Henry got a little scoop of vanilla in a cup. And then we went to Burger King. Sorry, not Burger King, McDonald's. And we were the last people there. We were the last people at the ice cream place, and we were the last people at McDonald's. And I got 2 plain bacon cheeseburgers for Henry. And the reason that he eats that food isn't because we're trying to be like mean owners. We have literally gone through every type of dog food out there, and he will not eat it. There was this one brand, I think it was Mighty Dog, um, and it had this one flavor that was like chicken flavor. It had a purple wrapper on it, and they stopped selling it in the stores, and that's the only canned dog food he would ever eat. And we went through dry food as well. The only thing he will eat is Rachel Ray's Nutrish, and I think it has to be a certain flavor. Otherwise, he won't eat it. So he ends up eating real food with us. He loves chicken, he loves steak, he loves pork chops. That's the stuff he'll eat. And don't worry, the vet knows what his diet is. The vet knows all about why we feed him the way we feed him. They gave us some tips on what not to do with some food and what you can do with some food with dogs. So it's not like we're being mean. I want to put that out there before anyone goes, "Oh my God, you can't feed dogs that." The vet already knows. Okay, it's not a secret. He knows what his diet is, and he said it's okay as long as we stay within the limits of what he can eat. And the same goes for our cat Shadow. We went through over his life. I've gone through several different types of cat food, canned cat food, and he has never really liked any of them. I mean, if he was hungry enough, he would eat it, but for the most part, he would just eat dry food. And it got to a point where he got the same way as Henry. He wouldn't eat any canned food. No, not one single. Sorry. Whoa! Sorry, you guys just went for a ride. He wouldn't eat any canned food whatsoever. We'd give him a little scoop and he'd sniff it and walk away. Sometimes he would just lick the juice and leave the food. And we went through all the brands. He wouldn't eat any of it. And so I said, well, why don't we give him like canned chicken or canned tuna? I said maybe he'll eat that. And we tried it, and that's what he eats. He will eat, and it has to be a specific brand of tuna, and it has to have a lot of juice in it. So, um, we have spoiled animals, can't you tell? Oh my God. So he does eat dry food. I forgot the brand. I think it's Meow Mix, and he eats either canned tuna, mostly canned tuna, or canned chicken, depending on what you know money and if what we have and stuff. Um, and the vet knows about that as well. I always tell him this is what he eats. Like, I'm not gonna force my animals to eat food they don't like. Try getting an animal to eat something they don't like. You're not going to succeed, not unless you sort of kind of abuse them to do it. And I'm no way gonna force any animal or any person to eat food they do not like. It was like when Casey was a baby. I would always try the baby food first, and if I didn't like it, I wouldn't give it to him. So, good rule of thumb if you're a new parent and you're doing baby food, test it before you give it to your baby. Ever wonder why you stick food in the baby's mouth and they go and it just drools down? It's because they're saying, ew, that's gross. I don't want that. So, pay attention to your baby's body language. If they're spitting out the food, it's because it's disgusting. And if you try it, you'll know why they're spitting it out, because you'll probably spit it out too. I know I did. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. I'm like, I'm not giving you that. And I learned that because I didn't start out trying it and then giving it to him. I figured it out through him spitting out like all these different, like it was certain flavors, and I would try them, and I'm like, oh, I get you. I get you. I get you, baby boy. I get you. That's nasty. And that's how I got into trying the food before I gave it to him. Because I don't want to buy baby food and it go to waste. You know what I mean? So, um, good rule of thumb, try the baby food first. If you wouldn't eat it, don't give it to your baby, okay? Good rule of thumb. I know I'm kind of like all over the place, and that's partly because, like I said, I've had medicine changes. I think I said that. I don't know. I'm saying it now. I talked to my psychiatrist and, told her what was going on and everything. And, like, I'm waiting for because at the time I was waiting for insurance approval. Hold on, I gotta put you guys down again. I've got to, put the straw in this. It's gonna look funny because it's so much bigger than this. But I use it for my water jugs. So, yeah, look at that. It's like, hello! This way I don't have to keep opening and closing it and having to put you guys down. But I will read the cap. I heard it's more about trivia than actual like advice and stuff like that. So, whoops, it doesn't want me to hold it. Real fact number 722. The peach was the first fruit to be eaten on the moon. Really? I don't like peaches, so I kind of don't care. But interesting fact. It's a useless fact for me. Like, great. Okay, somebody ate a peach on the moon. That's lovely. That's amazing stuff right there. Revolutionary. I'm sorry, I'm making fun. That's just my way of dealing with the pain. So, um, I'm just wondering if because sometimes, oh, Julie Woods, I don't know if you're still watching. Hi, how are you? We're just waiting for the pressure cooker. That way we can show you what we do afterward. That's why I'm talking, because I have sorry, I have a hair in my on my tongue. I'm sorry. You know that feeling when you get that, I got it. You get that hair on the tip of your tongue and you're like, I gotta get this off my tongue. Sorry about that. um, so yeah, it takes, because it's gotta come up to pressure in minutes. And depending on, and I'm gonna say also with the potatoes, you probably can get away with less than 10 minutes. Like I said, I usually use 12 potatoes and I do it for 10 minutes. But you could probably do it in 5 minutes. But again, it depends on your preference. So, just mess around with it. Try things out. Look at other people, because that's what I do. I look online. I I pick, like, I'll look at people's recipes, what they do, and I look at a whole bunch of them, and then I take certain elements, like, oh, that's a good idea. That spice might be interesting to put into it, or do it this way or do it that way, and then I take from, like, like from books, what I see online, stuff like that, and then I make it my own. So I make it the way that I would like to eat it. And cooking is just one of those things. It's trial and error. Every time you make something, it's trial and error. I know that they have all those cooking shows out there. My mother watches them. I find them to be kind of ridiculous a little bit. Some of the challenges and stuff, I'm just like, this is like to humiliate people or something. I'm like, this isn't entertaining. It's cringy. Like, honestly, if I were to become a chef, if you're sitting here yelling in my ear, you need to do better, you need to go faster, you gotta hurry up, you only got 30 seconds, I'd be like, bitch, shut the fuck up and get the fuck away from me, because don't be getting that close to me, okay? You don't know me, back off, right? I cannot do well when people are pressuring and pressuring and pressuring. My brain cannot function at that point, and that's actually been scientifically proven, that when you yell at people like that, like on these cooking shows and things like that, and they have to make these quick decisions within like 30 seconds, a minute, whatever, your brain literally there's so much information coming in that your brain literally stops. Like, have you ever watched that show with Steve Harvey? I forgot the name of it, where they have like the two families and they ask them questions and they have like a certain amount of time to answer them, and they're looking at the thing, how many, like the survey, whatever. And if you pay attention to when they're asking them the questions and they're trying to give an answer, especially if they give an answer that's already been used, which is the correct answer, but they can't use it, which is like, okay, sure. Pay attention to how they're thinking. You can see it on their face. They're flustered, they're stressed, they're anxious, they're nervous, and now they're being timed, and you get Steve Harvey with his arm around you going, okay, what's your answer gonna be? So just pay attention to that. You can see that stressing people out isn't always the best method for everybody. For some people, it is very, very appropriate to use that kind of thing. I think, like, if you're going to be a lawyer, right? That kind of pressure, being able to answer questions, being able to think quickly on your toes and all that stuff. I think in that situation, learning how to be a lawyer, all of those things, that would make more sense. Maybe not in every type of class, but for certain things, especially when you're actually in a courtroom asking questions, you need to know the questions you're going to ask. And if it were me, I would only ask questions that I already knew the answers to. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, I'm just going to wing it. Um, but yeah, I'm not one of those people who can be, if there's any sort of pressure, I perform poorly, very poorly. For instance, when I was in college and it was test day, okay? Now, the professor will tell you, when you are finished your test, please remain quiet because there are other people still taking the test. It's a respect thing, right? Oh no, and I'm one of those people. I take my time taking the test because I want to make sure that I understand the questions, that I gave the answer that I'm sure I want to give, and all that stuff. And that's just how I am. I need the time. I need it to be quiet. I need people to stop being assholes. And I was usually the last person who was finished with the test. And I remember one day I'm still sitting there. There was like still 10 minutes left of class. Everyone else had finished and I hadn't finished because everyone started talking, so I was having such a hard time concentrating. And I said, "Excuse me." And everyone stopped and I said, "I am still taking my test. The teacher said, shut your mouths until everyone is finished. And if you can't handle that, then leave the room. Otherwise, shut the fuck up." And the teacher just looked at me and went, and everyone else just kind of stopped and sat down and just, instead of talking, they were like murmuring, which was a lot better than the talking that they were doing because it was loud. And I was able to finish my test. And at the end, and I said, "Listen, guys, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but you know what? Not everyone can take a test extremely fast, and I need to be able to think and take the test. And also, you need to show respect for the professor and for your fellow students." And that's all that I wanted from you. Because if it was the other way around, I would have given you that respect. And I said, please remember that when you go to your other classes and you see people struggling to finish the tests and you just want to sit there and gab. If you can't leave the room, find something to do. Okay? Like play on your phone. I don't care. But don't talk. Okay? It's not everyone can work under those conditions. And that's why I eventually got I'm just gonna check on the potatoes, see how far they have. That's why I eventually got, oh look, 10 minutes. Here we go. Wait, yeah, 10 minutes. Okay. So we're gonna, now I took the vent and see how it's pulled forward now. And you want to be careful with the vent. You do not want to have your hand over it or anything like that because you will regret it. It hurts like no other. So what we need at this point, let's see if I can find it. Okay, I prefer this metal, if I can get it off. Oh. This metal potato masher as opposed to the plastic ones. We have butter and need some milk. Now, this is the kind of milk that I'm using, and I'm only using it because it makes it better to deal with the potatoes. Otherwise, it can get a little runny, and you don't want runny potatoes. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot the secret ingredient. That's vegetables. Okay. Alright, see, like I said, we got these packages of cheese, right? Let me see if there's a second one in here. I don't know if there is. Oh, I'll use the rest of this one, too. Oh, no, here it is. There we go. Sorry that everything's kind of in the way. Whoa, sorry about that. Okay. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. I need my hands Okay. Sorry, I need my hands. I hope you can hear me. Just make sure the volume's up. Sorry about that. Okay. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Let me put the light on. Whoops. Ouch. No, it's not good. Okay. Are you ready to help me? You'll see the ones who get it on video. Okay, so I have my mother coming out to help that way. She can record or I can record or whoever. Do you want to record? Or do you... Okay, so she's going to hold the camera. We're going to switch positions. Alright. So, no, you can come over here.
Well, you don't want me to get you in there so you can...
I want you to get what I'm doing.
Oh.
I'm not the focus, the food is. So, you take this off. Ooh, look at that. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, you can see the steaming potatoes.
So what you want to do is you want to kind of go in there and be like, okay, how soft are they? These are actually pretty soft. So I'm just going to kind of mush them around just a little bit. Now, since we only use 9 potatoes, we're not going to need as much of this stuff as you would normally need. Oh, just need that one.
Well, except for the cheese.
Well, we'll work on the cheese because there's only 9, and I don't want it to overpower.
There's nothing wrong with cheesy potatoes.
So I'm just gonna take like half of this and put it in.
It's about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3.
Like I said, it's all about like preference and just. Now you don't want to start with too much. You always want to have less so you can add more. And you know what? These are actually pretty soft. I might not even need to add the milk. Yeah, it's really soft. Hold on, let me just give this a little taste test. Because you're also looking not just how it tastes, but consistency. Always make sure you blow the steam because you don't want to burn yourself. And you can touch it with your lip, okay? If it hurts your lip, it's too hot, okay? Alright. It's at the perfect
Consistency?
yes, thank you. I was thinking of the word. I'm like, what is it? Texture? Yeah, whatever you want to use. Yeah, that's perfect. So, we actually don't need any milk. How about that, guys? So, let's move on to the cheese. Actually, I'm going to finish this cheese up.
What is it? Ooh, the pizza cheese.
Just so it doesn't go bad, you know. This is what, like, if you have extra cheese left for making pizzas or whatever it is that you're doing, and you don't know what to do with it, make some mashed potatoes, and then put some cheese in. Now, I'm going to tell you, cheddar cheese is the best cheese for this type of thing. But you can use any cheese you want. Whatever suits you and your family. So we're just going to stir this some more. You can come over here. So they can see what it looks like. I know, it kind of looks weird because of the cheese. So, let me just put this down. Now, I'm not going to put, hold on, I'm going to use this one instead. This one's already open. Okay, this is the fun part, me trying to open this. Isn't it fun? Look at this. I'm having so much fun over here.
She has nails.
Barely.
Never mind.
Alright, so I'm just gonna put in some of this cheese like that. I don't want to put too much in because, like I said, there's not a lot of potatoes here. It works better when you have more potatoes. My son's just gonna have to get used to the fact that he can't just. I think what my son would like is if I bought that big huge packet at the bottom, you know, like the 10-pound bag of cheese or whatever it is, and put get the biggest one of these I can find. Put half potatoes in, the rest is cheese, and the rest is history. I think that's what he would want. And you know what? Even at that point, I don't think that he would even say it's enough cheese. He'd be like, "Ma, where's the cheese? Did you even put any in?" He asks me that every time.
Well,
And this
good,
is
he can see it this time.
well, actually, this is the least amount of cheese I've put in because, like I said, you have to modify it based on how much you're using for potatoes.
Well, we were only 3 short, so.
Yeah, because you said not. Yeah, but it can make a difference because say they're 3 large potatoes. That makes the difference on the amount of stuff you can put in. So I'm going to hold this. I would like you to take a gander. And let's see what you think.
It's stringy, I like it.
Just be careful, it's hot.
I think if I'm trying the pan. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll like it.
Yeah, so we don't even need the milk. See, and that's the thing about cooking. Make sure you check what you've made. Make sure you check how it tastes, the consistency, especially with potatoes. I'm gonna put this here.
I want it now.
Dinner's ready.
No.
Okay, I want you to give this a try. Now, Nana only used 9 potatoes.
I have no shrimp.
Casey, it's fine.
Boy, it's okay.
You're fine. Okay, it's fine.
Oh man, I'm a man.
This is cooking slash update slash whatever. This is not.
Sorry, you want me to taste it?
Yes, be careful because it's hot. Okay?
What do you want me to
Remember,
taste in it?
I want you to tell me what you think. Does it taste good? Is the consistency good? Because Nana only used 9 potatoes, so I got to be careful of how much.
Tastes like mashed potatoes.
It tastes like
But the
cheese in it.
cheese.
What cheese? Oh, don't even.
See,
I tasted
see,
it.
see? Do you see? Do you hear that? Every single time. What cheese? What
No
cheese?
cheese in there. I'll give it another taste. I taste no cheese.
All right, I'll add a little bit more cheese.
There is no cheese in that. I guarantee it. Maybe my taste buds.
Listen, you're watching me put cheese in it. You guarantee there's no cheese in there?
I
Do
don't
you
taste
hear
it.
this, child?
If I don't taste it, there's nothing there.
Well, the next time you can cook dinner. Oh my God! Do you see what I told you? He'd be like, no, what you talking about? I added a little bit more, just a little bit more. Okay, so this should be good. I'm not putting any more in. If he wants more, he can add it to the top of his cheese on his plate. You know what I mean? So we're gonna put this in the sink. Let me put this stuff back in the fridge. Casey, can you grab me the milk, please? It's on the counter. Oh no, Nana already got it. Never mind.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
This is the kind of look what I do. Wait, get it out, and then go.
Actually, you don't even need the milk just because of how it came out.
Is that funny? Well, I'm about to just do that. I'm just gonna think of a guy.
That'd
So
be
yeah, I
gross.
have everything out. It's doing so well. And so this is go.
All right. Can you take another test? I put a little bit more cheese in.
Again, if I don't taste any
But
cheese,
if you want any more cheese, it's gonna have to go on top of your plate. Like whatever's on your plate, you can add cheese to it. Okay. Because there's a point, honey, where it goes from potatoes with cheese in it to
See, this-
it's cheese
I
with a
am
little
taller.
bit of
I am so much taller.
yeah, but that just makes me closer to his kneecaps. Why do you think big dogs are small of little dogs? Sorry, big dogs are scared of little dogs. You ever notice they're right at the right height to nip at their legs and stuff? And that's where they'll attack another dog. So.
I really don't taste cheese. I like some my tongue. I don't taste.
He doesn't taste the cheese. Look at it's stringy. You see the stringy of the cheese? I don't get it. I don't get it. So yeah, other than that, we're just gonna make some frozen vegetables just because, you know, it's late and then
I don't feel like cutting up and making up a salad. You know, I'm in a lot of pain. So, but I still want to connect with you guys. You guys are my family. And what I go through, you know, if you go through pain, I go through pain, you know.
Cause you're sneaky.
It tastes so good. I don't know what his problem is. You can taste the cheese. And you can taste that there's 2 different types of cheese, too. So I'm just putting the cover back on. It has a function that says keep warm. You can either turn that off or you can keep it on depending on how long you're waiting for the rest of the food to be done. But this is the only part that I was doing. So I'm going to leave the rest to my mother because it involves the oven and I can't lift that stuff right now. So I'm going to leave that to her, but I'm going to shut this light off. Hey, Henry! Say hi! He said, I'm on my couch. I love my couch.
He's my dog. You guys can't have him. If you take him, I'm gonna go to your house and make sure that
We get him back.
no. I'll take a shotgun filled with candy.
Oh, a shotgun filled with candy.
If you
Oh, that reminds me of that line from They Live. I'm here to, what did he say? I might get it backwards. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. Or I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, whichever one. Oh, you're such a handsome fella. Say hi, Henry. Move your hand. Say hi, Henry. Say, look, I'm a cute little doggy. I'm so cute. I'm so handsome. You know you could be on the cover of the cutest dog in the world. You know that? I mean, that's just my opinion. He's like, yeah, you got a camera in my face. What are you doing to me? You're getting better. You used to run away, remember? You used to run away. Now you're just looking uncomfortable, so I'll stop. Excuse me. Okay. So let's shut this light off. And I gotta go sit down because I'm actually physically tired. Just doing that was very physically taxing to me. Excuse me. Pardon me. I gotta sit down. I gotta get all comfortable. Oh, and Shadow. Look. Let's change it. There's my baby boy. I wish he was on his other side, but he is healing very nicely. Say hi, Shadow. He said, hi, everybody. I'm Shadow. Oh, he's like, Mama, rub my belly. Rub my belly. Oh. Oh, yes. Look, he's moving around better. You can see part of where he was shaved. It's starting to grow back. Yes, it is. He's such a handsome boy. And we're always scratching around this, getting his neck and everything, because he can't. Yeah, he's a very clean cat. So for him, this is torture. But he's doing so well. You are. You're doing amazing. You're an amazing kitty. You know that? You're so amazing. I love you so much. You see the love eyes? He loves his mama. I love you, Mama. He says, you take care of me. Even if I don't want to be, you take care of me. I'll always be here for you, baby. I promise you that until the day I bury you. Okay? You can count on me to be there for all of it, alright? Yeah, he's such a good boy. Oh, there he goes. He's like, get the belly. Get the belly. Oh, look, see, he's moving his leg better. I wish I could give you a shot of his hip. It's looking so much better. He's walking better. He goes to the vet on Monday. So his Dr. O will take a look at him, see how he's doing. Maybe he can get his cone off because he's had it on for quite a while, and I know that
It's just really messing with him. I know. Let's get those ears. So you got to get the ears, like even not way inside, but just like right here, because they can't reach it. You know. It's like humans. There's that spot on your back you just can't reach, and you got to find someone to do it for you, or you got to find a surface where you can scratch your back on. You're such a good boy. Do you love your mama? Say hi, my YouTube family. Hello. Do you see him smiling? Do you see that? He's smiling for you guys. Oh, what a good boy. He's smiling for your YouTube family. They're rooting for you. Oh, there he goes. There he turns. See? Look, he's getting so much better. You see that? You see that? He is healing. Do you see that? Anyone who is a doctor or does any kind of thing like this that's familiar with this, you can tell he's looking so much better. He's still a little swollen right in here, but I think that's to be expected. He's like, scratch my back. Come on. Come on, scratch my back. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He's always been his mama's boy. Yeah. Oh, he's such a good boy. Oh, I don't want to overexcite him, because he can get overexcited. You know how boys are. You touch them enough, they get excited. Why? Because God made them that way. Yeah, you can tell that the medicine has kicked in. I'm not like, I was crying out in pain earlier. Like literally, there were almost tears. So when it's getting to that level, it's really, 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 really serious. So yeah. Okay, so I started telling you about seeing my psychiatrist, doing a Zoom call with my psychiatrist. You know what, I'm going to put my earbuds back in because there's a fan in here. Okay, here we go. Just so the fan isn't... I hope you could hear everything I said before. I forgot that the fan was in here. And so I spoke with her. And like I said, I'm taking diazepam for the pain instead of the Ativan, which really helps with my anxiety. So right now, I'm only taking Ativan, like if something happens right at that moment, and then I take it like if I have a panic attack, and that is it. I don't take it in the morning and at night anymore right now. This is temporary. This is so once I get my injection and I start, getting better and I'm not in so much pain, then we're going to go back to the Ativan. But she did, when I saw Dr. K, who is the neurologist, he suggested, oh gosh, I wish I had the names of those medications. Let me see if I can look them up. But they're antidepressants. They are the tricyclics like I'm on. I forgot their names. I take amitriptyline, and right now, well, I was at 50, then I went up to 100, and now we're going back down to 75 for a week, and then back down to 50. But we are increasing the clonidine from 1 milligram to 2 milligrams at night. And I think that those are the only changes. And I'm going to tell you, the diazepam makes me feel dizzy. It makes me tired. It does nothing it does nothing for my anxiety whatsoever. Which has been really hard to deal with. And that's why I've been using the DVT skills as much as possible, trying to do, trying to respond in a different way than just reacting, like think before you speak and act. That way, what comes across, not in a mean type way. Like, for instance, if you're at the grocery store and you're looking at something and there's somebody standing right next to you, you have every right to turn to that person and just say, "Excuse me, ma'am or sir, could you mind just giving me that 6 feet of space? I'm almost done." And then you can have at it. Um, and that's a great way to ask somebody to kind of respect the rule, respect your, every, to respect the rules, to respect your environment, to respect you as a person, and, follow these rules. And I'm sorry, I think it's going to be a disaster when school starts, honestly, because when the adults aren't wearing masks and they don't have their kids wear masks, and then you send them to school where they basically have to wear masks all day. I mean, they'll get breaks, but I'm thinking we're going into the cold season, the flu season, and they're saying, like, if you have a cough, that's enough to send you home. It's like, why are you even sending them to school? Like, why? I know why. It's all about money. It's all about the money. It always is. I mean, public school's a cult in and of itself, if you really think about it. Okay, so tricyclic antidepressants. I'm using my other phone. I don't have a computer. I just have another phone. Let's see. Oh, this one says it has a list. So I'm looking up drugs.com. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I'm looking at right now. Okay. So just so you, I don't know if you are familiar with them, but what they are a group of medicines that have a similar structure and all work in a similar way. They may be used for the treatment of other conditions, not only depression. They believe it works by increasing levels of two neurotransmitters, which are chemicals in the brain that relay messages: norepinephrine and serotonin. Norepinephrine helps with attention and modulates emotional response. Serotonin is often referred to as the feel-good hormone. It carries messages between brain cells and contributes to well-being, good mood, and appetite, as well as helping to regulate the body's sleep-wake cycle and internal clock. They may also block other actions of other neurotransmitters, such as, I don't even know what that word is. I'm just gonna spell it: acetylcholine, and histamine. So let's get down. Okay, so in addition to depression, they may be able to treat other things. For instance, anxiety. It doesn't work on, like I said, the diazepam doesn't work on me for anxiety, but it does for a lot of people who are coming off of like alcohol and heroin for some reason. I don't know. Maybe because I don't have a drug or alcohol problem, it affects me differently than it would them. That's all I can think of. So anxiety, bedwetting, chronic nerve-related pain, migraine prevention, obsessive compulsive disorder, panic attacks, post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay. Oh, they got a couple names here. Let's see. Let's see if I can... Okay, I remember this one. Doxepin was one of the names. Mom, do you remember the other name of that medicine they were talking about for the antidepressants? Remember, one was doxepin. There was another one, and I can't remember the name of it. I feel like it isn't even in this list, but um, okay. So it was, like I said, da, blah, 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 blah. The doxepin was one of them. It could have been the disipramine. Um, I'm not entirely sure, but that was one of them. Um, I don't know if it's to replace the amitriptyline altogether or to take it in conjunction with the amitriptyline. But right now, like I said, we're working on the pain stuff and all that before we start messing around too much with medications, because pain can mimic a lot of symptoms of mental illness, like anxiety, depression. Um, so once I'm back to a more steady baseline, it'll be easier for her to decide um, which one of those might be best to try. And I'm okay with trying them. That's the thing with having any kind of medical issue, is that sometimes you have to try new medication. And that's just the way it is. I mean, you don't know how it's going to work until you take it. So yeah, I wish I could remember the other one, but I don't. I'm sorry. Um, but if any of you have taken that other one I mentioned, can you maybe let me know in the comments below what your experience was with it? Did it work? Did it not work? Were there bad side effects? Were there no side effects? Things like that. Just, excuse me, just your experience on it. If you take it, whether you like it or not. I just want to get a feel for what that medicine, how people feel about that medicine in general, because I've never been on it. So yeah, that's what's going on with that, and it's just so, I feel physically out of control, mentally out of control. And when I say out of control, I mean like I'm having I'm having a lot of trouble focusing and thinking on what I need to do. And when I try to do something like right now, making this video, it's actually very hard. It's like right in here, this whole area of my head, it feels super heavy, and it feels like I am forcing myself to keep my eyes open, forcing myself to do what I'm doing. I think I kind of am on some level, but this is just this, and I don't know if that's the medicine. Is it depression? Well, I don't know why I'm doing this. um, I don't know exactly what's going on. Is it messing with my brain in a way that's like shutting down some of my cognitive, executive functioning in the frontal lobe? I don't know. But all I know is I need a spinal injection, and I need to continue physical therapy. I need to also, I've mentioned this, make sure that Casey's IEP is, the way that is it to my liking. So I emailed, I guess, who's going to be his case manager for high school, and I told her I'd like to just have like an informal Zoom session or whatever, just to go over the IEP, make sure that it's acceptable for whatever the levels he's needing to meet and stuff like that. because I told them he's not going to be participating in any school activities until this part is taken care of. Like, they said that his IEP is all set, and it's like, no, we always go over it, and that's what's going to happen. I will not make him do any schoolwork until everything is set up, and I know that it is the way that it needs to be to benefit him. I don't care if it benefits the school. I'm sick of the school. I can't wait until he graduates. But I don't want him to graduate too soon, because then he'll be a full-grown man, and you don't want your kids to grow up too soon. But I just can't wait to be done with this school district. I've had enough of this cult. That is mandatory. So, or you can go to jail, which is messed up. But he's going to do remote learning. So basically, most of my questions are centered around, like, what is he going to do for speech? How is OT? What's that going to look like? That type of stuff. Is he even going to get it? These are questions that need to be answered before he starts any school. And like I said, I don't care about the school's rules or policies. I've never cared about them, even when I went there myself, and I still don't. And I know that's kind of a negative attitude to have, but I have had a lot of negative experiences with the school from when I was a kid, and now with my son and all that stuff. So there's a lot of bad taste in my mouth with this school. I will say, though, that the level of learning is very high. So they are a good school in terms of academics and teaching and all that. But when it comes to special needs kids, yeah. Like I said, they kind of they skipped over the special needs kids, talked about basically all the other kids, and that's not right. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna just do that to my child. I will kick your ass if I have to. No, I won't kick their ass, but I will be very vocal about what is acceptable and what is not, and what is best for Casey and what is not, right? I'm always like that when it comes to IEPs, right, honey? Your IEPs need to be specific to you. Don't be gross. Please don't be gross on camera.
But we'll have my
yeah, don't do that. That's gross. Ew. Do you remember that scene? I think it was in Big Daddy with what's his name, Adam Sandler. I think it was that movie, and they do that spit thing, and it like goes all the way down to the ground almost, and they spit it back up. Well, he likes to kind of do that. It doesn't go all the way down to the ground, but he does that. It's gross. I think it's a boy thing. I don't know. I don't remember ever doing that as a kid. That's gross. But he loves to do it. So anyway, any parents out there with special needs children, make sure that you're on top of all these people. Email them, call them. Make sure that your child is taken care of, no matter what level they are on any spectrum that they are on, okay? Make sure that you speak for them and you advocate for them, because the schools will put them by the wayside. They will. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's always been like that when you actually look back in history. Kids, I mean, back then, there was no such thing as special needs. It was like you just had an odd child, or, do you know what I mean? Like they had different names. And now we know that those children had autism or ADHD or a learning disability or something like that. So be on top of the people at the school, be on top of the special education department, be on top of your case managers, be on top of everybody, and make sure that everything is in place for your child or children before they start any school. I know some schools have already started, but even still, even if they're still going to school, make sure that, because you are their advocate, you are the one that gets things done. And when you tell the school, this is how it's going to be, this is what he needs, it's going into the IEP. Because anything you want can be put into the IEP. Don't let anyone ever tell you different. Anything you want in that IEP, you can put in. I learned that by asking lots of questions. Hold on a second. Yes?
Because of that wedding and one of the guests working at the York County Jail, York County may not start school.
Okay, so I just found out because there was a situation that happened, a COVID situation, that ended up because people aren't supposed to gather in large groups. These people decided to do so. And now there's a bunch of cases. Last I knew, it was up to 100 cases. It started with like, I don't know, 5 and then just rocketed up. And now they're saying, my mother just told me that they might not, because of this, because of how fast it's spreading, because people are being dumb. Yes, you're being dumb. You don't wear a mask. You don't follow the rules. This is what happens. You're dumb. I'm sorry, but you are. And you're putting everyone's lives at risk because you're self-centered and selfish and entitled, and you know it. This is your fault. This is your fault. So not you guys, this situation, okay? The thing that happened, it's their fault, not your fault. So now they're saying that they might not even start up the hybrid model of school where you go in 2 days a week. So, oh my God. Listen, did we not learn anything from the Spanish flu? Okay, it took 3 years for that thing to go away. And the only reason it went away as fast as it did is because people who refused to wear masks, people who refused to social distance, because they had that back then too. They kept getting people sick. So they started giving them fines. That wasn't enough. Then they started arresting them. And they kept them in jail until the pandemic was over so people wouldn't get sick. And it took 3 years. And back then, vaccines were not like today, okay? So a lot of people, a lot of children died. Lots of people died during that time, just like people are dying now. And we are repeating our history, and people don't even see it. You know what I mean? They're like, this is fake. Really? You think people dying is fake? What is wrong with you? You watch way too much TV and like movies and stuff, because that's not real life. You're not living in the real world. You're somewhere in La La Land, because this is real. People are dying. And you could be one of those people if you decide to be like having a COVID party. Who the hell raised you? Like, what part of that sounds smart in any way? What part? Let's have a COVID party? Really? Oh my God. If I were those parents, I'd be beating my kid. Like, seriously. Corporal punishment. What is wrong with you? Like, that is, I mean, I wouldn't beat him, but I would definitely make sure that my child understood, and I don't care if they're an adult, okay? You're still my child, that what you're doing is wrong and stupid, and this is your fault, and you need to take the consequences of it. That's how it's going to be. But unfortunately, people want to be their kids' friends. Listen, if you want to have a child, okay, you have to understand the friendship doesn't come until, let's say, between 25 and 30, okay? That's when it will start. If you're friends with your kids before that, you're a bad parent. You just are. You're not supposed to be their friend. You're their parent. You have to guide them through life so they make good choices, safe choices, smart choices as an adult. So if you're not doing that, then, is it any wonder your kids are the way they are? I mean, seriously, come on now. You need to get smart about this. You need to get smarter about this. So yeah, like I said, I don't think kids going to school is a great idea. I think it's the worst idea ever, and the fact that I know it comes down to money. It's just like, really? Really? You only care about the money, huh? Okay then. I mean, sure, I guess. But if people, and that, I mean, it just, I got, it just bothers me. But anyway, stay on top of all the people you need to be on top of when it comes to your special needs children and school, especially if they need specific things. Okay? Ask about the A's, ask about anything and everything, because every child is different, every child has a different disability, it affects them differently, they need different types of services. So be on top of that. Do not let them drop the ball, because they will. Because unfortunately, even though we've come so far with our children and learning that kids can have these types of disorders, there are still many people out there that believe that it isn't real, that you're just a bad parent, that's why your child is like that, and all this stuff. And you know special needs children, unfortunately, they're looked at differently than the rest of the students. They are. They say that they treat them the same, but they don't, because they're special needs. They are treated differently on purpose. But the way that they're supposed to be treated and then the way that some get treated is two totally different things. So, yeah, just be on top of it. Make sure, like, if your kids are going physically to school, okay, make sure that you do everything, whether they're special needs or not, to make sure that they are safe. But I'm gonna go because I would like to rest, but I just wanted to say hi and kind of give an update and all that stuff. I know I've been jibber jabbering for a while. That's just kind of what I do. When I'm in pain, I talk, because it helps me to forget about the pain. That's just one of my coping mechanisms. So, yeah, people are getting a little upset. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna say goodbye and thank you for watching us make our cheesy mashed potatoes in the pressure cooker, and listening to me jibber jabbering on, and what getting to see Henry and getting to see Shadow and how much he's healing, and of course Casey being Casey. And of course my lovely co-host Mom. Alright, I will talk to you guys later. I will keep you guys updated on everything. I love you guys. Please stay safe. Please take care of yourselves and one another, and I will see you soon. Bye guys. Peace and love.